Welcome inside Radio City Music Hall, live in Midtown Manhattan.
The bottom line to me, and I've watched every one of his game tapes. I was at his pro day. I played against Elway and Marino in college. I never thought I'd see anything like it. I'm not telling you that this is going to be the best player ever. What I am telling you is he's got the physical skill set better than any quarterback I've ever seen in my life coming out of college football.
The 2007 NFL Draft is now open. Okay, Raider fans, with the first pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select quarterback Jamarcus Russell, LSU.
And there you have it. The 2007 NFL Draft is officially underway.
Going to the combine and going to pro day. They're going to go on down the campus. They're going to spend time with this guy. They're going to spend time with his the strength coach, with the trainers, with the secretaries, with the defensive coaches, and evidently they are very pleased with where this kid's headed.
And that's the thing. It's going to all depend on what the Raiders put around him, the type of quarterback coach, the kind of script. Is he going to get his own guy?
Should have absolutely nothing to do with what you do today. Just because you made a mistake at a position before, to me, they can come back and get a guy that reminds me a little bit of Mark Bolger in John Beck from BYU. So I think the plan is, if you stay with Calvin Johnson, to get the quarterback, the developmental quarterback at 34, the second pick in the second round.
With the second pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions take wide receiver Calvin Johnson, Georgia Tech.
Calvin Johnson over there and Roy Williams and Mike Fury in the middle.
Without a doubt.
Some passes, and you've got a veteran quarterback.
It marks the fourth time in 5 years that the Lions have used a first-round draft pick on a wide receiver, but one of those wide receivers is expected to be traded this weekend. Mike Williams could be headed to the Tennessee Titans for a second-day draft pick.
What makes a running back good? Well, the offensive line. So there you have it. Offensive line is a much desired need. They brought in Eric Steinbach. They brought in Seth McKinney. They addressed some of their needs. Bringing in the Joe Thomas is something that this team is also considering, and it could happen along with if they decide to go just running back with Adrian Peterson.
Okay, with the third pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select left tackle Joe Thomas, Wisconsin.
So Brady Quinn quenches his thirst because it may be a while for him back there in the green room now. Next few teams do not have a need at quarterback. And there is Joe Thomas. Mike, tell us about him.
Almost 6'7", 311 pounds, 33 3/4 arms. Very important. He benched 225 28 times. He's a highly athletic left tackle. His forte is pass protection. I believe he's got to improve his functional strength to get Calvin Johnson. The bottom line to me, Gaines Adams or Amobi Okoye will be the pick here. Gaines Adams is the guy with 25 sacks last year. Tampa Bay was number 30. Let's look at Gaines Adams in collegiate action. What he is a guy with tremendous burst off the edge.
With the fourth pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take Gaines Adams, defensive end, Clemson.
And that's one of the reasons he's so good. Aside from being a natural knee bender that can turn the corner and accelerate, once he gets his hands on Marshall, he creates separation. People last night who basically said if Joe Thomas was our number one guy, if he's not going to be there, then we're probably, because of the medical situation, ain't going to end up going with Levi Brown. And here's one other fact about Levi Brown. Coach, when those Mushroom Society guys, when those offensive line coach get involved in the evaluation process, they really like Levi Brown even more than Joe Thomas at number 7. If Minnesota doesn't take him at 7, and if Minnesota goes with a corner, which I think they might do, then you're going to know the medical significance, and that young man could start the free fall.
With the fifth pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals take Levi Brown, tackle, Penn State.
Well, we talked about him. 6'5 and a half, 323, really explosive. Long arms, average 10-yard dash time at 184. Look at the strength, 31 bench presses. Now, I watched every one of his game tapes. You see a massive guy. dominant at times. My problem, and Coach, I'm going to want you to watch this tape with me. He's got highly inconsistent technique, especially for a left tackle with his athletic ability. When he locks on you with his strength and his hands, it's all over. Against Ohio State, here's my problem. Look how high he is. Look where his hands are. Your hands got to be up and out. Come on. That's horrible for a 3.5-year starter. He gets beat to the edge by a pure speed rusher. Again, Spencer, nice power step though. Watch the right foot, power step. He closes down the inside lane.
Washington to shop its pick to both Miami and Minnesota, two teams that would love to have Brady Quinn. Now, Minnesota Vikings owner Ziggy Wilf is one of only 2 owners at Brady Quinn's personal workout. Brady Quinn is still on the board. I think that's somewhat surprising to both Minnesota and Miami, and the Washington Redskins are taking calls as we're in the air right now.
I'm not buying into Minnesota, though. I think the head coach, Brad Childers, drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round, Tavares Jackson, who he believes in. Reminds him a little bit of a young Donovan McNabb. I think he wins that argument. Cam Cameron sitting at 9 with Spielman, with Mueller, excuse me. I think they really need to take a step back, not get leveraged, because I think Brady's coming to them naturally, and I think Washington's going to have to make their own pick on the clock.
With the 6th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins take LeBron Landry, safety, LSU.
I've talked about this kid all year long. 6 feet, 213, ripped up the 40 and 4.35. That 3-cone bothers me a little bit. I'd like to see him under a 7.0. Vertical 37.5. Tremendous range and toughness. Sugar Bowl, Brady Quinn, deep outside. Look at the speed to get involved with the play in the corner. Sometimes in man, watch this, guys, he goes a little flat-footed in man coverage, no help, and he gets beat on a dig route. Luckily, Brady Quinn doesn't throw the football there.
Is he going to be the guy to lead this team, or do they go ahead? I know they got Chester Taylor last year, and he was very good. Excellent in his first year carrying the rock himself. I really, Adrian Peterson.
I think there's division within that building, and I really believe that Tavares Jackson, who got a chance to play some last year, is Brad Childress' guy. I think Brad's going to win the battle. Then you go to the next guy, Adrian Peterson. And because of the medical situation, I don't think you can take a chance with the number 7 pick. I think they're going to go off the board a little bit, and I think we're going to see the first corner taken, either Darrelle Revis or Leon Hall, and from what I hear, they like Leon Hall a little bit more.
It's a little bad boy right here. You can download NFL Network's draft coverage on your telephone. Look at this thing. It's a NFL mobile free with any Power Vision pack. Tune into NFL Network's draft coverage live on your phone.
With the 7th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Adrian Peterson, running back, Oklahoma.
And it's nice, Brady Quinn there giving a round of applause, the class act that he is in Radio City. Commissioner Roger Goodell holding up the Minnesota Vikings jersey with his collarbone because they do have Chester Taylor.
Yeah, I think it's a nice situation for him. And what does he bring to the table here? 38.5-inch vertical, real good burst. He runs angry. For a 6'2" back, he understands leverage. The question, Marshall just dealt with hands, it's the durability. Each of his 3 years, he's been hurt. How about the physical skill set, though? Against Boise, runs through the arm tackle of Corey Hall, accelerates to the corner. You know he's putting it in the end zone. He's a traditional I back. Gets in behind the tackle. I like the cut through the hole, Marshall. He runs through the arm tackle. Now the acceleration to show the speed. We'll show you a little bit of catching the football, right? Little screen, this is what they do. Make a miss, that's a talented corner. Make a miss, I don't like the move right there. Drop the shoulder, finish the run. The other one is Jamaal Anderson, the next potential defensive end to come off the board, University of Arkansas. Remember, John Abraham coming off an injury. They lost Patrick Kearney to Seattle. Defensive end is a huge issue, so I think it's Jamaal Anderson first and maybe Amobi Okoye.
With the 8th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jamaal Anderson, defensive end, Arkansas.
You got it, Mike Mayock. Why would the Falcons select this young man?
Oh, I think it makes all the sense in the world. I really like this kid's athletic ability. Remember, 35-inch arms, 288 pounds. He came to Arkansas as a wide receiver, Rich. He went from a 210-pound kid. He's a physical specimen.
I mean, hopefully I won't be here as long as Aaron Rodgers was a couple years back. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
It turned out to be a pretty good thing for Matt Leinart. Got the team he wanted, went to a wonderful offense. Are you thinking along those lines, like, whatever you have in store, you have in store? I just want to get out of this room.
No, I'm hoping that I end up in a situation like Matt. I think he ended up going to a place that worked out great for him. He had great weapons on offense, and I think he's going to do very well down the road.
Dante Culpepper in the recent minicamp. He was not medically cleared to participate. Joey Harrington's now Michael Vick's backup. Cleo Lemon, currently the only quarterback on the Dolphins roster who is healthy. So perhaps the Zach Thomas fans will get Brady Quinn. Adam Schefter, what can you tell us as the Dolphins have 6 minutes to go to make their pick?
Rich, the Dolphins have so many needs right now. Wide receiver, at cornerback, and when I floated the idea of Brady Quinn to one Dolphins official, all he said was not so fast.
You don't have a secure quarterback situation. You've got a new coach who will be supported by management. I think it's got to be Brady Quinn right here.
Not to mention Cam Cameron. If you think about the job he did with Drew Brees when he was there with him, and Phillip Rivers, he's experienced in taking young quarterbacks and putting them in place, making them comfortable back there, running plays enough to get them comparable. They don't need a lot. Their defense is pretty good. They brought in Joey Porter to put enough pass rush. They don't have to go corner here.
With the 9th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Ted Ginn, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Wow. You could read Brady Quinn's lips. That was surprising. You could even hear it from the fans here. The Jet fans love it.
They went with Ted Ginn, who is the player that the Houston Texans wanted to draft at number 10. Houston is now shopping its pick and talking to the New York Jets, who have been on the phone with them all morning about moving up, presumably to take a top cornerback, the top cornerback in the draft. They also have been talking about the Buffalo Bills, and the San Francisco 49ers are very nervous about any team trading up in front of them. That now also leaves the Miami Dolphins focusing in on Trent Green. It is expected to be a second-day trade, a late-round pick. The Chiefs seem to be budging off their demands of a first-day pick.
And if they make this move to get Trent Green, it lets you know that Dante obviously is not going to be available.
I think this is way too high for Ted Ginn, and I love his explosiveness. World-class speed, he gets vertical. He's got return
Devin
value.
Hester.
I think he's a very average route runner. Now, Devin Hester's a good
Devin
stop,
Hester caused this.
And that's what it is right there. Look at him on the return. I get all of that. I get you're getting a very unknown quantity right here at the number 9 slot. Now, 80% of their offenses are verticals. Look how fast he gets on top of the corner. That is incredible speed. That's why they're drafting him. However, I don't know what kind of route runner he is. 80% of their offenses are verticals, crosses, and hitches. Anthony Gonzalez runs better routes for this team. Here's what bothers me, okay? Look at the route. This is a curl. He stays there. Doesn't come back to the quarterback. The ball gets broken up. This bothers me. 1-on-1. The inside defender falls down. All he's got to do is make one guy miss. The athlete tackles him. I saw this on tape too much. Again, 1-on-1. Look at the block on the inside defender, coach. 1-on-1. Does he make a guy miss? No.
The Buffalo Bills are interested in going up from number 12 to number 10 to take Mississippi linebacker Patrick Willis ahead of the San Francisco 49ers. And once the Buffalo Bills are in the mix, then you have to figure that the 49ers also are on the phone with the Texans.
With the 10th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Amobi Okoye, defensive tackle, Louisville.
And Marshall, that's a good call there. Travis Johnson, they picked in the first round a couple years ago. Anthony Maddox, a journeyman. The 19-year-old Okoye, 6'2", 302, real long arms, highly athletic. He's 19. He's what we call a three-technique defensive tackle.
You all ready, Mooch? Fasten your seatbelt. Tape your ankles.
Raiders Nation, number 1, baby. Yeah, I knew Al Davis was going to do it. He's the man. He's always been. He's always had the best way of calling the picks. He's the master of the draft every year, all the time. J-Rock, he's the chosen one, baby. That's his nickname. How you going to stop? No, I hope Keep Moss. Keep Moss. J-Rock the Moss, baby. How you going to stop that? You can't. With Porter on the other side, with Rhodes in the backfield, ain't going to happen. Thank you, Al Davis, for bringing us back. Raider Nation, lives forever.
Patrick Willis would be an awesome get. Character has versatility in any scheme that they're going to run.
You know, Patrick Willis, you just think of him working under a Mike Singletary. Singletary taking his kid, teaching him the ins and outs, how to play inside, interior linebacker. It could be a great fit for them.
We were wondering where Brady Quinn went to. We found out Commissioner Roger Goodell has invited Brady Quinn into his green room where there are no cameras.
Special green room.
The commissioner has stepped in again.
You know, speaking of Brady Quinn, if you think about it, where is he going to go? I mean, this is something that we have to talk about and speculate. You look at Carolina, you think of how Jake Delhomme played last year, and then you think about who they just signed, David Carr. Carr is not the future there. Obviously, he's a guy that if Delhomme doesn't play well, he could be their imminent future, a guy that they bring in. If not, he falls to Kansas City. That's a long way.
The next logical place, Kansas City at 23. Would one of those teams like Detroit and Cleveland then make a move back into the first round to try and get Brady Quinn at 21 or 22? And what a get that would be.
With the 11th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Patrick Willis, linebacker, Mississippi.
Boy, is this a good football player. He's a solid person. 4.38 at his pro day. Very tough. Excellent instincts. Tremendous straight line speed. You talk about a physical skill set. Plays with leverage. Smells the play inside out, then explodes into the tackle. Again, same kind of situation in the Senior Bowl. Stays underneath the play, inside out, and when it's in the open field, explodes to the ball carrier. He translates his natural speed onto the field. Misdirection, doesn't get caught up, knows he's got outside leverage help, plays from the inside out, makes the play. My next 5 best available players would start with Brady Quinn, who I had at number 7 overall. He's not going here. Darrelle Revis, the corner from Pitt, there's a chance he could go here. Adam Carricker, probably not a scheme fit or what they need at this time. After Carricker, it's Chris Houston, another corner who I love. It's too early for him. And then after that, John Beeson, which is a fit. Now, here's what I think happens. It'll be the top-rated corner on their board, Revis or Hall, or the running back, Marshawn Lynch.
With the 12th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Marshawn Lynch, University of California, running back.
Wow. So it stands to reason they go running back. What with Willis McGahee being traded away to the Baltimore Ravens, it's now Marshawn Lynch toting the rock in Western New York.
The A train, but Marshawn Lynch, minimum tread. It means he's been in a 2-back system. He catches the ball really naturally in a system that effectively throws to the running back. I formation. Marshall, chime in here whenever you want. You see the cut in the hole, runs away. I like him getting north and south and finishing the run here.
You can't teach that.
He's going to run a seam route. And Marshall, you talked about this early in the West Coast. It's going to come between people, through people, and you got to catch the football, right?
A lot of people forecasted Marshawn Lynch falling to number 16 to the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, he goes off the board right now, and there are some teams that do not believe another running back will be picked before round 3. So now Green Bay is left in something of a lurch trying to find another running back. We know that Tennessee is talking to the San Diego Chargers about a trade for Michael Turner. Now maybe the Green Bay Packers need to step in and try to make a trade happen with the Chargers as well.
To me, Adam Carricker is a natural guy coming up next in St. Louis. And Marshall, I know you believe they need a tackle. The reason I like Carricker here is because he's 6'6", 296. He's a defensive end and a defensive tackle. The 4-3 teams are looking at him as a defensive tackle position.
With the 13th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the St. Louis Rams select Adam Carricker, defensive end, Nebraska.
He's a guy that when I watch tape on him at 6'6", 296, scheme versatility, he can play in any front. He uses his hands better than any defensive lineman in the country.
There's a trade that's about to come. Those guys are on the phone. Could the Panthers, as you could see, who took a step back last year, take a step back in this first round and somebody pop up and take Brady Quinn, Mike Mayock, Your thoughts?
I'm kind of already on the record here. I don't think they will because I believe John Fox.
What happened? Wait a minute. What happened? The Jet fans are just exploded because a trade did just in fact take place. The Jets have now been put on the clock, which means fasten your seatbelts, everybody. Oh boy.
First trade.
That guy in the Vilma jersey was asleep 2 minutes ago. Now he's up.
Now, do we want a corner here or do we want Brady Quinn? We took Kellen Clemens a year ago in the second round to be the quarterback of the future.
Look at that guy right there. We got a pick coming up.
I hope these guys don't start booing the pick.
Hey, what is he saying, Rich? What is he saying?
He's saying, sit down so I can be on TV. Adam Schefter, what can you tell us what's going on?
Well, the Jets have been trying to trade up all morning, trying to get into the top 15 picks. They finally worked it out where they can get up to Carolina's spot. The Jets now have their choice of cornerbacks. They can take whichever cornerback they believe is the top-rated corner in this draft. Could be Darrelle Revis from Pittsburgh. Could be Leon Hall from Michigan.
You know, all year long, Leon Hall was perceived to be the #1 corner in the country. When Darrelle Revis, the junior from Pitt, came out, the only question was long speed. What would he run? He ran in the 4.37 range. When you put tape on both of them, I like Revis better for what the New York Jets do. He is a press cover corner. He'll play cover 2. He understands zone concepts, and he's tough as nails. And Eric Mangini will not take a corner that won't tackle.
Let me see if I can give you the details on this trade. Carolina has traded its first-round pick, which is number 14 overall, their 6th-round pick, which is number 199 overall, for the Jets' first pick, 25 overall, their second pick, 59 overall, and their 5th pick, which is number 164 overall.
Well, here the selection.
With the 14th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Darrelle Revis, cornerback, Pittsburgh.
I'd say that's mixed.
In my opinion, this is the best corner in the draft. 5'11 and a half, 204. He ran a 4.39 40 at his pro day. Tremendous size. He's a physical player. That's why Mangini wants him. He ran the sub 4.4. He can play press and he can play off. There's got to be some, watch this kid play zone right here. He runs with the wide receiver, comebacks, make the hit. Here he is again, gets off the block, understands leverage, makes the tackle in the open field. He's a sure tackler. I didn't see him miss a tackle in 6 games of tape. No help in the middle of the field, outside leverage corner, makes the play.
Couple of things. Keep in mind this. The New England Patriots have added a number of wide receivers during the offseason. Wes Welker, Dante Stallworth, Kelly Washington, and they still may add Randy Moss. So the Jets need some ammunition to go up against the New England Patriots. And now you are going to see that run on cornerbacks.
Let's not assume Pittsburgh's going corner because their guy's off the board now. They absolutely loved Revis. They could still go Hall, but they could go Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker from Florida State, who would give them scheme versatility. Tennessee, yeah, Pac-Man's gone, but they could also use a wide receiver, maybe Meachem.
With the 15th selection in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Lawrence Timmons, linebacker, Florida State.
All right, Mike, you thought they'd do it? Why does this give them versatility, as you said?
Because he's a 6'1", 234-pound guy that can play with his hand down off the edge. However, he's a natural athlete in space. I don't think he's long enough for the 3-4. The Steelers obviously do. Here he is coming off the edge. Watch this move. Coach, I would classify this move as sick.
And keep in mind they lost Joey Porter now.
Right.
And they've got to replace that productivity.
And here he is, covering a tight end down the field, not a problem. When he isn't in space, when that tight end or a fullback or a guard gets on him, he's too weak at the point of attack.
Now, we also turn our attention to Brady Quinn, and I think what you're going to see happen is there are so many teams that were planning to take a quarterback at the top of round 2. One of them now, at an unexpected time, is probably going to try to trade up to get a guy like Brady Quinn. You're talking about maybe the Cleveland Browns, maybe the Miami Dolphins, maybe even the Minnesota Vikings, but somebody is going to come up unexpectedly, see the value in Brady Quinn, and pull an unexpected deal and take him. But at this point in time, Brady Million has lost $20 million and counting.
How about a big wide receiver in Randy Moss. How about that as a big wide receiver?
Well, there's another thought.
Would that work? Would that work for Brett in his 17th season?
They would make it work. It's not a long-term thing for the city of Green Bay. It's a see how many touchdowns that we can throw this year.
I don't think they'll give up the 16th pick for that one, though.
No, it'd be something else.
No. Second day pick for that one.
Yeah.
But the point is, I think with Moss, again, if I'm at the end of my career, and I'm a great football player, but I haven't had any kind of Super Bowl, I want to sniff at a Super Bowl, and I don't think Green Bay's sniffing yet. I think they're building. That's a good point. And they might be tempted by Greg Olson, the tight end from the University of Miami that ran a 4.51. I don't think so. I think it might be Meachem, who's the faster of the two wide receivers, 6'3", 210. If they elect to go defense, the number 2 or 3 safety are on the board, depending on who you like, whether it's Merriweather, whether it's Nelson, or of course, Nelson, Merriweather, and Michael Griffin.
With the 16th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Justin Harrell, defensive tackle, Tennessee.
Now, let me tell you something, guys. That's a direct reflection on Alan Branch, the defensive tackle from Michigan, who most people thought was a top 10. Justin Harrell is a kid that got hurt early in the season. He's a very versatile defensive tackle. I think he could play the 5 technique. He tore his biceps early in 06.
And now the Denver Broncos are on the clock. And with 2 minutes to go, the Broncos are on the clock because they jumped up, making a trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And guys, obviously they didn't do that to take Brady Quinn, because last year they jumped up in the draft to go out and take Jay Cutler. Adam Schefter, what can you enlighten us with?
Right now, the best value on the board is Leon Hall, but Denver is overloaded at the cornerback position. They have Champ Bailey on a $63 million contract. They just traded for and signed Dre Bly during the offseason. They have Dominique Foxworth, so it's hard for me to believe that they're trading up for a corner. The one guy here that would help fill a need would be John Beeson, the linebacker from Miami. They would move DJ Williams inside to middle linebacker. John Beeson would go on the outside. And remember, back in 1995, the Broncos had a choice of linebackers. They went with John Mobley, bypassing the University of Miami linebacker Ray Lewis. Maybe they think Beeson will help answer the problem that was created almost in 1995.
This is just the details of the trade that just took place. Jacksonville trades this pick, the number 17 overall, to the Denver Broncos for the Broncos' first-round pick this year, number 21, the Broncos' third-round pick, the 86th pick, and the Broncos' sixth-round pick, number 198. With the 17th pick in the 2007 draft, the Denver Broncos select Jarvis Moss, defensive end, Florida.
So they go with the pass rusher out of Florida.
My man Marshall just called that one, sitting right next to me.
The one thing that they didn't do was pass rush. They did not get to the quarterback enough.
They can get the second corner. They can get the second safety. They can get a linebacker, which I really don't think they're going to go there, because they've got the kid they got in the supplemental draft in the 3rd round, Ahmad Brooks. So they can go in a couple different directions. But remember, Alan Branch, the defensive tackle from Michigan that's sliding, is as clean a kid as you'll ever see off the field. So I think it's either Branch, Hall, or the number 2 safety in their opinion, which could be Nelson, Merriweather, or Griffin.
With the 18th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Leon Hall, cornerback, Michigan.
See, I was wrong. You don't need phonetics for Leon Hall.
Now that's an easy one. And he's a technician, great feet, tremendous change of direction. He's what I call a safe corner, both on and off the field. The drive, the change of direction, the break up the slant, gets his hands on the receiver. Now he uses his body to get him up against the sideline. There's no place to deliver the football. Against Jarrett at USC, watch what happens. Combination coverage, corner and safety. Jarrett, who runs 4.67, ran right by Leon Hall.
The likely landing spot for Brady Quinn, Adam Schefter.
Well, Rich, the Cleveland Browns have been calling around the league, trying to move up into the 1st round to try to snag Brady Quinn. That would be a huge coup for Cleveland if they could come away from this draft with Joe Thomas at left tackle and then Brady Quinn later in the 1st round. Phil Savage would be hailed as a hero.
With the 19th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans take Michael Griffin, safety, Texas.
Is that a surprise for you there, Mike Mayock?
Yeah, it is. I have the other 2 safeties rated ahead of him, both Merriweather and Reggie Nelson. As a senior, he was a highly inconsistent tackler. And for me, my safety's got to tackle people. If you put the Iowa tape on his senior year, he has great range. This is from his junior year. He had a better junior year. The national championship game. Look at the range and the ball skills. The senior, he turns away contact here. Look at this. You got to make this play. He doesn't even touch him, and then he doesn't chase him. He gives up at the 10-yard line. I got a little bit of a problem with that. Play action. He struggled with play action as a senior. Bites on that. He's very fortunate that the quarterback didn't throw the football. He's beat deep. Yeah, it's interesting because at the linebacker position right now, they like big linebackers. That's Tom Coughlin's philosophy. Really, at this point, it's John Beeson, unless they reach for David Harris. They also like the development of their third-round linebacker a year ago, Jarvis Wilkerson, out of Georgia Tech. And they also signed Kavika Mitchell to a one-year contract. So I get the linebacker thing, and they might go here because I think, Beeson's a possibility. But corner or safety is also an issue there. And depending on who they have higher on their board, Mooch, I think it should be a defensive pick, but wide receiver will tempt them a little bit.
There's also one other position that they do need help at, and that's left tackle, Joe Staley from Central Michigan. We're going to start hearing his name because we're now in the area where he's going to go. And if you want to protect Eli Manning's blind side for the next 10 years, Joe Staley might not be a bad pick.
The New York Giants, selecting 20th in the 2007 NFL Draft, select Aaron Ross, cornerback, Texas.
All right, they like it.
6 feet, 193, ran a real good 40. Is a natural press corner. He's gotten tougher over his time at Texas. The question was long speed. A lot of people like him as a cover 2 corner. Press corner. This is his comfort zone right here in press coverage. Gets his hand on the wide receiver from Iowa. Again, press corner. Watch this play. Gets his eyes back on the quarterback, finds the football, falls off his man, makes the interception in the end zone.
With the 21st pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Reggie Nelson, safety, Florida.
So this is the guy they were looking for, Mike.
I give Jacksonville a ton of credit. Tremendous range and instincts. Excellent ball skills. For me, for an elite athlete, he misses too many tackles. Look how deep he plays. Deep center fielder, watches the quarterback step up in the pocket, watch the knockout shot. Reads the quarterback, gets to the edge, makes the play. Very simple scheme at Florida. Play the middle, read the quarterback's eyes, flip your hips and react. He sees the quarterback, he feels the route down below, look at the range to get involved, and the ball skills.
So you have to wonder if people are calling up Dallas and saying, hey, let's make a deal.
Well, if it's Cleveland, and we talked about Cleveland might want to get up and get an opportunity to get Brady Quinn, and that would be a steal. Phil Savage would be. He could run from here, but we cannot exhaust the opportunity that if he gets to the Baltimore Ravens, that they start to look at the future. We know that Kyle Bowler is not the guy, and we know that Steve McNair is in, year 13, 12, 13. So. Right. The future for the Baltimore Ravens could lie in Brady Quinn. If he's there, if he falls to them, they could take him, Rich.
Adam Schefter, what can you tell us?
The Cleveland Browns are on the phone with the Dallas Cowboys right now. They're offering their first-round pick next year and their third-round pick this year to try to get Dallas Cowboys first-round draft choice to take Brady Quinn. Again, the Cleveland Browns are trying to make this happen. The more it goes on, the more it looks like they will.
Take it. Take it, Jerry Jones. Don't hesitate. Take it right now. A first-round pick next year, which is likely, given how bad Cleveland's been, to be a high pick.
It'll be an early pick.
And a third round? Are you kidding me? Yep. Jump on that right now.
Brady Quinn is going to go because the Cleveland Browns have just traded for this pick, and it appears Adam Schefter, you nailed this one right on the head. The Browns are about to take Brady Quinn.
Rich, it went down. The trade has been completed. Cleveland will send an 2008 first-round pick to Dallas and a third-round pick this year. Dallas has manipulated the draft. Cleveland has come away with Joe Thomas and Brady Quinn. Hail Phil Savage in Cleveland.
We were talking about this during the commercial.
They don't have this.
Wait a minute. The point differential to move up from where they are to 22 and get this pick is about 230 points, which is only their third-round pick this year, but not the first round next year.
But here's the deal with that, Mike, though, is this is just a guide for what is only required for the Cleveland Browns to do. this first-round pick that Dallas perhaps extracted from them is what they were holding over their head saying, we'll just go ahead and take our guy and your guy will go to the Kansas City Chiefs. But it appears Brady Quinn is about to become a Cleveland Brown.
With the 22nd pick in the 2000 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Brady Quinn, quarterback, Notre Dame.
So there you have it.
That's more cheers than boos.
If I had told you that the Cleveland Browns would come away with both Joe Thomas and Brady Quinn in this draft, no one would have believed it. And yet, after waiting over 4 hours and 10 minutes in the green room, Brady Quinn is about to come out on the stage and grab the jersey of his home state team and put on the hat of the Cleveland Browns. A huge sigh of relief.
Good for him.
That's good stuff. All those boos that we heard earlier when he came out initially, and now this place erupts.
That's what they call a New York minute, Steve.
Wow, that's the life of a quarterback.
Out of Notre Dame is a Cleveland Brown.
He understands route progressions. He knows when and where to throw the football. He can make every throw.
Chime in, please.
Rich, the trade cost Cleveland and it cost Brady Quinn. Essentially, when these talks started between the Browns and Cowboys, the deal was a first-round pick next year and a third-round pick this year. It wound up being a first-round pick next year and a second this year. Clearly, Dallas wanted to come away with the player. In the second round, Dallas got what it wanted, and while the Cleveland Browns get those two players, it's going to cost Brady Quinn a lot of money, because if Cleveland had gone Brady Quinn at number 3 instead of number 22, he would have made about $25 million more than he will now.
Where the Miami Dolphins just passed up on drafting Brady Quinn from Notre Dame. Since Dan Marino retired, we haven't had a quarterback. 10 starters for the Miami Dolphins, and we pass up on him. He could bring football back to Miami Dolphins, maybe even a championship this year, but we get 10 gid. 5'11", 170 pounds, what is he gonna do? We don't have anyone to throw him the ball. These Dolphins better make up for him in the second round, because I'm disgraced. I'm ready to leave. I was a fan since I was little, and this is what I get.
With the 23rd pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Dwayne Bowe, wide receiver, LSU.
There you go, Dwayne Bowe, the target of Jamarcus Russell, is now going to be a target of
a concentration lapse. When I watch tape, every game I see him drop maybe one ball that he should have had. He gets off press coverage against Arkansas. Quick stutter step, then physical. Works his way to the middle of the field, gets as much as he can. When you talk about a physical wide receiver, watch what he does here on this little screen. He's going to come across the field, he's going to feel contact and attack the corner rather than being attacked. Watch him drop the shoulder, knock him down. Okay, here we go again. We talk about right there. Good throw, you beat press coverage. Catch the football every game.
That's what Seattle Seahawks fans are saying right now, although they do have Deion Branch to show for it. But what do you think about the Patriots drafting opportunity here?
I think it's a pretty simple equation here for New England. They need back seven help on the defensive side of the ball. Everybody knows that. They've had issues at linebacker. They've had issues in the secondary. They got to get younger and more athletic. And when I look at my board right now for New England, Brandon Merriweather's there, as is Chris Houston, and I would anticipate either Chris Houston or Brandon Merriweather to go with New England with this pick.
With the 24th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Brandon Merriweather, safety, Miami.
Cross between Ed Reed and Sean Taylor.
Watch him read the quarterback. This is Senior Bowl practice. Read the quarterback. What I like is he trusts what he sees. There's the plant. Now he's going to get after the football.
With the 25th pick in the first round of the 2007 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select John Beeson, linebacker, Miami.
They still got the linebacker from the University of Miami. And folks, don't worry about that 40-yard dash time. I don't care about it. This guy can play. He's a three-down linebacker occasionally because he's so aggressive. has trouble with misdirection.
Take a look
Now
at his
here he
tape
is
here,
playing in the inside. Okay, watch him from the inside out. Keeps inside leverage, work through garbage, jumping over everybody, getting to the ball carrier, finishing. That's a Miami linebacker right there. You can watch tape for the last 20 years. Now he's on blitz. He's going to rotate off him, spin into the hole. Why? He keeps his eyes up even while he's blitzing.
The Dallas Cowboys draft room was all up in arms, as you can see, because they have struck a trade in the division with the Philadelphia Eagles, who were on the clock. All the Eagles fans in here were in an uproar when the pick was traded. And then they saw the Dallas Cowboys up. And take a look, the pick that the Cleveland Browns just sent to Dallas for Brady Quinn.
Dallas, of course, has been very busy. In fact, when Brady Quinn was picked earlier in the day, when Dallas traded its pick to Cleveland, Brady Quinn was on the phone at that point in time with the Baltimore Ravens, who were getting ready to move up to trade for Brady Quinn. The Baltimore Ravens thought they were going to get Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn thought he was going to Baltimore, and suddenly the Cleveland Browns swooped in and stole the Dallas Cowboys pick, but now Dallas is back on the clock.
It's either Chris Houston, Meachem the wide receiver, or maybe Alan Branch. Do you think?
I like Alan Branch, and if you think about Wade Phillips and what he had over in San Diego, his nose tackle, Jamaal Williams, locked down the middle part of the defense, made you have to double team him. If he gets Branch, and Branch brings that same type of active in the middle and make teams have to double team him, your linebackers don't have to be that great. And now you're back in where you can get pressure with Ware coming off the edge.
Here's why. The Philadelphia Eagles' first-round pick was worth 700 points on that box that every team in the league has. What they got in return for the 700 points in their first-round pick was 730 worth of points. So the Eagles get a second, a third, a fifth. That's why they do the deal, Dion, because they got a lot back in return for Dallas, which was very anxious to get back into the first round.
Man, I don't care if it's worth 800 or 1,000 points. You don't do that in the division. I don't want to trade a pick, and you're going to come back to hunt me twice a year? I don't care how many points. Moochie showed me about the little chart yesterday, set me down, went over it whether I wanted to go over it or not. But he went over it with me so that I would understand, and I appreciate that, Moochie. But you don't do that in your division. Come on.
Twice a year?
Twice a year?
With the 26th pick in the first round of the 2007 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Anthony Spencer, defensive end, Purdue.
How about that one? I went over 3 on that one. Now,
you got to be kidding me.
The first defensive end, outside linebacker, off on the second round.
Which page?
I got him listed at 34. Watch it. Harris with an outside. Use the hands, rip underneath, get to the quarterback. He was way too much for Harris all day long.
With the 27th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Robert Meachem, wide receiver, Tennessee.
That doesn't surprise me a whole lot.
They go wide receiver to go with Colston and crew.
Meachem, triangle numbers, height, weight, speed guy. Heavy, but only 1 year production. My question is, how quick twitch is he? Nice job getting off press, and now you see the 4.39. He runs away from the safety and makes a very difficult catch. Great ball skills in the end zone. This is a guy that struggled until the offensive coordinator, David Cutcliffe, came back. Run after the catch. Little hitch, he's gone. 70 yards for a touchdown. And then don't forget about Joe Staley, and I think when we get to the next pick with Baltimore, you're going to see that offensive line addressed either with Joe Staley or Ben Grubbs.
No question on Joe Staley, Mike. His name is coming up here, and it's coming up pretty soon, but I think that New England right now is going to have a trade.
Yes, they do have another trade. The San Francisco 49ers have just struck a trade with the New England Patriots, and the Niners.
Now this might be David Harris.
With the 28th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Joe Staley, offensive tackle, Central Michigan.
Joe Staley is a former tight end. Tremendous upside. I think he needs some reps, and he's got to get more functional playing strength.
Well, kudos to the New England Patriots for working the draft the way it should be done. They get the 49ers first-round draft choice next year, so they will have 2 first-round picks next year, the New England Patriots will. They also get a 4th-round pick in this year's draft. But San Francisco went with Joe Staley for a few reasons. Number one, there are a few scouts around the league who believe that Joe Staley had a higher ceiling than Levi Brown, who went to the Arizona Cardinals with the number 5 pick. And also, Squame Harris, the 49ers offensive tackle, is in the last year of his contract. The 49ers have made very little attempt to re-sign him, so clearly they see a left tackle of their future, and Alex Smith should be very happy about this pick. His blind side is protected for the next 10 years.
Ben Grubbs, the guard from Auburn, just seconds ago was announced here at Radio City Music Hall to be the newest member of the Baltimore Ravens, and yet another SEC player drafted in the first round, Mike.
Yeah, and he's a great fit. He can pull and redirect, get out to the second level. I think he starts day one. When they go to training camp, you know what's really interesting to me is I don't think they're going linebacker. I think they have enough athletes at that position right now. Thinking offensively, and this is a little bit outside the box, they've got Antonio Gates, but when you're this late in the first round, you're going on some value sometimes. They've got a tight end sitting there, Greg Olson, who is a little bit more like a wide receiver than he is an inline tight end. Would you think because you've got a wide receiver need, would you think that maybe you go that way and open up the middle of the field even with Gonzalez being there?
You know, that's a possibility. They have Brandon Malumaniuna, who's a more of a blocking tight end. Like now you bring in Olson and you bring him in, and now you can stretch the field even more. We know what Pro Bowl tight end that they have already. That makes the need at wide receiver not so important.
With the 30th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Craig Davis, wide receiver, LSU.
So that's the fourth LSU Tiger to go in the first round, and the guy who's 11th on your wide receiver draft board, Mike.
He is number 78 on my overall board. He's also the faster of the two LSU wide receivers. He's a vertical threat. You see him at the top of the screen working against press coverage. The old NFL say, a little stutter go there, create separation, makes the play against Arkansas.
And no Randy Moss trade as of yet, no Trent Green trade as of yet. These are all the things that we've been talking about over the last few weeks. And Greg Olson, the tight end out of the U, who was the last player taken. The last time the Bears went tight end in the first round of the draft. You want to take a crack at that one?
Yeah, I'm going to say Ditka.
You nailed it. Mike Ditka. Was the last time the Bears went tight end in the first round in 1964. Greg Olson's X's and O's look like what, Mike?
What Greg Olson is a vertical threat. He's not an inline blocker. Difficult to evaluate in the Miami offense because they threw the ball very poorly. Here he is on the corner route. You can see the separation, the run after the catch. He ran 4.51 at the combine.
Going to be.
It's good. They got to go linebacker. You got Alan Branch there. They might want to decide to address the defensive line. We know that was a problem for them last year. They went out and made a trade with Tampa and got Booger McFarland. But linebacker is a need. You lose Cato Jew. You insert Rob Morris last year for Gardner because he wasn't playing well, and you patched it up and got through the playoffs as probably the best run defense in the playoffs in the league at the time. So, but you can't do that all the time. It's a must, it's a necessity that they address their linebacker position.
Bill Polian drafts Big Ten players historically, and there's about 3 of them staring him in the face right now. Branch, the defensive tackle, David Harris, the linebacker. Let me give you one more name. They lost Cato June, they need a weak outside linebacker. How about Paul Posluszny, another Big Ten player from Penn State, immediately fulfills the need. I think it'll be one of those 3 players.
Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, wrapping up the first round of his commissionership.
Congratulations to all of you. You're a part of history. Today is the longest first round in the history of the NFL draft. This is not a record we want to break. With the 32nd pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Anthony Gonzalez, wide receiver, Ohio State.
And guy, but the wrong one for me.
And he's their new Brandon Stokely, perhaps.
And it really does make some sense. Get vertical, and he's very comfortable in the middle of the football field.
Give me a quick wrap-up of this first round. Surprise? Anything that leaps out at you?
Not a whole lot. We got 5 defensive ends. I had 4. We got 5 wide receivers. I had 4, but that really is the strength offensively and defensively in this draft. So it's really not a surprise that we got an extra defensive end and we got an extra wide receiver.
Well, I'll tell you what surprised me. If you'd have told me that Cleveland was going to had the option to get Joe Thomas and Brady Quinn in the first round, I'd have told you no way. But they came away smelling like a rose. You think it's a little bit too much about that first round pick. Win, extend Romeo, that pick becomes a late pick, and you're not really worried about it.
There were 7 trades in this first round already, which is more than last year. We anticipated a lot of that, but we saw teams moving up to go get a guy they really wanted to and probably paying more than they should have just to go get that guy that they really want.